Hello. To be completely and utterly honest, I did not have a video planned for this weekend. I still don't. So instead of trying to figure out what to play or what to record or whatnot, I figured I might as well just make an update video on everything that's interested me thus far. Especially with FNaF's past anniversary now, and the announcements associated with that. So I'm just gonna yap for a few minutes. First off, with the background footage for this video, you'll see that I'm finally playing Into the Pit. I have not played the game. I have been avoiding stuff about the game ever since it came out, and I'm just now getting around to playing it. So that's going to be a video sometime soon-ish, hopefully. So that'll be fun. And then the anniversary. Always bet on FNaF World 2! I honestly didn't think it was going to happen. I'm very glad it's happening. And I'm glad Megacat is making it because the art and animation and stuff Into the Pit that I've seen thus far has been very, very good. So I have very high hopes for that. I've only played maybe an hour or so, like 40 minutes of Into the Pit thus far. I'm not the biggest fan of the writing. I know it's a 10-year-old kid, but not the biggest fan of the writing. We'll see how that changes though. But I mean, I have enough faith in Megacat, I think. Hopefully they do FNaF World the justice it deserves. I can care a bit less about Security Breach 2, honestly. Vanny looks fine. I think she looked fine in the other one, but I guess she's creepier now, so, and maybe she'll actually have a knife this time. I will be getting my friends together to go to the American Dream Mall. Probably not opening day, but around soon-ish to when it opens. The Real Life Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Because I will be eating Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. That's just a fact. Overall, I think it was a pretty nice anniversary for announcements. I'm glad we actually got something. A little saddened by the lack of joy of creation, but that's to be expected, honestly. But, yeah. I'm hopeful and optimistic about the future of FNaF, but also cautious. And now moving on to other things. More specifically, right back to Joy of Creation. Since it got a small cinematic teaser thing. Was it yesterday, I think, from when I'm recording this. At the rate things are coming out, it's not looking likely that it's still going to come out this year, but I'm hopeful. I'm willing to remain hopeful, optimistic. Halloween release. Halloween's on a Saturday, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, hope we get more stuff about that. Soon-ish. Maybe. Anyway, moving on. FNaF in Fortnite. Everyone seems to be very excited about this, and I seem to be the only person that I've ever seen that doesn't want it to happen. It would be funny. That is correct. But I also just uninstalled Fortnite because I wasn't satisfied playing it. And if they add Freddy Fazbear to Fortnite, I'm gonna have to go back. It's just gonna have to happen. And I don't really want to go back. I just wasn't having fun playing Fortnite when I was playing it. Like, I was even playing it with friends, I was playing it with my girlfriend, and I just wasn't having fun playing it. It's definitely partly due to me being bad. Yes, I'm going to acknowledge that. But even with that, I was still trying to have fun because I was playing with the Lethal Company employee, and I was like, oh, we get this #1 victory royale for the company! And then I just kept dying and it wasn't fun. So, I don't know. Maybe playing as Josh Hutcherson or whoever they add for skins is going to be different. Because there is no way they're going to let Freddy Fazbear hold an AK-47. So speaking on FNaF collaborations, I would really, really like more DBD stuff. That would be great. It's been over a year now and there wasn't anything for the anniversary, so what the heck, guys? I can wait, I guess, but something soon would be nice. I know Bendy, if it comes to DBD, is probably not going to be until a year or two down the line. So I'm more than okay waiting for that. But, come on guys, you saw how successful it was. Why aren't you capitalizing off that? I will buy more skins. I will. Anyway, moving away from FNaF now, I guess. Deltarune. I want to talk about Deltarune. Recently, I watched a video, or a theory kind of video, about why the night flickers. Like the quote-unquote roaring night flickering and being this ball thing. If I can re-find the video again, I'll link it in the description, because it's an interesting watch. But in my opinion, they brought up some pretty good points with the Don't Forget song at the end of Chapter 1. That definitely makes sense for it to be Chris and Des performing that. I like that thought. And then also the night being made out of pure darkness like the Titans. I also like that. Because why else would it be black and white outline? If they weren't meant to be linked in some way, shape, or form other than the roaring, then why are they the same kind of color palette thing? I think it makes sense for the night to be made out of pure darkness. You know, can't speak, doesn't really have a consciousness, just a goal. And if the night, maybe the night is just pure darkness and it just takes form because the prophecy says that there has to be a night. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just not a lightener, it's just pure darkness that just had to exist for the prophecy to come true. That's why there were fountains before the night appeared. Because people were messing around with stuff. Maybe Des. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Des made a fountain accidentally, you know, just somewhere. The crime, not the crime, but it got reported to the police because darkness is spewing out of some building. And then Des just didn't want to leave the dark world. And then maybe just this one thing that Des did started the prophecy to begin with. I don't know. That's why it takes form with the antlers. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall here. But the video brought up some very interesting points, so I'm going to have to find that and put it in the description. So I guess on to other smaller things. I'm not on Twitter or anything like that, so I have no idea if anything was posted there. But I have not seen an update on Orpal Guy, which is a little sad. And then also the Brook plush on Makeship. I didn't have the ability to pay for it when it was still, you know, make your pledge and it'll come real. I didn't have a way to pay for it then. I was waiting for it to come out and then buy it when it was already made. I don't know what's happening with that. The page went down, so maybe they're just updating it. I hope that's still happening because I would have loved to get one of those. Hopefully they're still working fine on the mod, if they have other things to do in the real world. I'm not going to hold it against them for not prioritizing FNaF mod over living. Walton Files Episode 5 was great. I still think about it. I'm still planning on going back to my animation eventually. I'm obviously going to do the Halloween one, but I told myself to only work on it in October. So I did in fact order a rocket plush, so I will be having that. I'm honestly just scraping the bottom of the barrel to look for things to talk about, so I guess I'm just gonna end this here. It's a bit of a lazy video, in all honesty. I'm very well aware of that, but I had nothing planned. I went out with my girlfriend today. I don't really care. So I'm just gonna put this out there. If you enjoyed me talking about something and nothing at the same time, leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for more, hopefully engaging content down the line. And with all that out of the way, I will see you in another video, hopefully. Goodbye.